Hey there, welcome to my inaugural video of Star Trek Discussed. So in today's video, I'll be going over my top 5 Star Trek television series. So, I have no limitations on here, pretty much I have had to watch it. That's my only limitation, really. But anyhow, in my number 5 position, I'm putting Star Trek the original series. Now, some Trekkies out there are going to be very upset by this. But I stand by it. It's my number 5 position, not my number 1, like most Trekkies expect. But anyhow, the reason why I put that number 1 is because, well, sure, I did enjoy greatly and I would watch it, but I don't feel like there was anything to keep me coming back. They only really in one episode did they actually have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Which I understand the episodic format, but for a crew exploring space, you think there would be some consequences for some things they did. So maybe that's why I decided for number 4 would be Star Trek Next Generation. Well, you did have really one, maybe two ongoing arcs throughout the entire series, but mostly sure, it was still episodic, but I felt like they dealt with the consequences of their actions more. They were referenced more, and that. But not so much as I think my number 3 pick had, Star Trek Voyager, which they really did have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Really, one of their early actions caused them to be stranded in the Delta Quadrant and kicked off the entire series there. So, though granted in Voyager they easily could run away from their consequences, but they really didn't run away, they were just trying to get back home. So, in excuse, sure, why not? But let's go to number 2, where they really did deal with the consequences of their actions. Star Trek Enterprise. Really, first of all, I love the theme song. I know some people didn't like its break from the instrumental for all the others, but it was neat, showed the progression, and it really sets it apart from the other series. But beyond that, they really dealt with their actions greatly. They did something in the first season, it was brought back in later seasons. You had one entire season devoted to combating a perceived threat to Earth, the Zindi crisis. They spent a whole season on that. I had the feeling that in Star Trek: The Original Series, The Next Generation, that such a thing would be relegated to a one episode, or maybe a two-part episode. So, but they decided in Star Trek Enterprise to dealt with something in the entire season. I guess that's why some people didn't like it, but it was enjoyable, believe it or not. Yes, I do actually find it enjoyable. I find pretty much all. But before I go on to my number 1 pick, I have 2 honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is Star Trek the Animated Series. Simply put, it's not as good, but it's still enjoyable, good for a laugh. But there's just some weird things about it. And my second honorable mention is Star Trek Discovery, which is the new Star Trek television show airing on CBS All Access. I have no idea what this is about. Actually, I haven't even watched it. The first look trailer, I believe it's called, on YouTube. But that actually is either already on my channel, because I'm recording this about over a week in advance, by the way. But so it's either already up or it will be up like next week or something. I'm not sure yet. I will do a reaction and opinion of it at some point. It's either already up, as I stated, or it will be up within a week, provided I do get around to it. And so, my number 1 pick, if you haven't guessed it, is Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Because really, in this series, I think this is the series I think did the best job at, first of all, showing more day-to-day life, but also the consequences of their actions. They, what they did in one episode will affect them in another episode, which is much more realistic. I know there's some people who don't quite like how it became more soap opera-ish, more continuity you have to deal with, but there's something to be said about it. Ties the episodes together, forces them to deal with their actions they in the Roddenberry series they would not have. That they kind of glossed over, like, okay, so the Enterprise helped a society in X way. So what happened to them? No, they were fine apparently. We don't learn anything about it. DS9, they helped with society. Like 2 seasons later, we figure out what happened, which is very nice to see. We did see that some in Enterprise and Voyager as well, and a tiny bit in Next Generation, but DS9 I think really mastered that idea. And then there's just something to be said showing the darker side of the Federation, showing that everything's not peaches and cream, not everything is so rosy as we see in the original series or Next Generation, which is very nice to see. And then of course it felt more, I don't know how else I can describe it, but there you have it, my top 5 Star Trek television series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. Check me out on social media, consider supporting me on Patreon, and feel free to visit my website and any of my other YouTube channels. Links are in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel for future Star Trek content. Have a good day or good night wherever you are. Live long and prosper.